Vale, chavalote, te voy a ignorar y me voy a buscar a tu hermano yo solito. Avila. Yo no voy a negociar con esa gente, por favor. Es que, a ver. Cantina. Sneak a meal. Using your pass, you can sneak into the canteen and get some free food. But you better be careful. Bueno, está bien, está bien. Bueno, esto nos va a interesar pronto. Join a workroom. A search for loose. Pues nada, vamos a ello. Vamos a aprovechar los buenos dados para ir por aquí. Y en un par ya que se lo tendremos. A ver, 4, 5. Venga, 2. Ole. Nos quedan 2 dados cutres, pero bueno, confiamos que todo irá bien. The shaft descends towards a slump in the depths of the pit. Here the air is freezing cold to prevent the ice from melting into globules of floating water. Your breath carried water, you would be able to see it in the air, but the absence of steam in each exhalation only serves to remind you of your own strangeness. Not that anyone else notices. The workers' heads are low, their eyes fixated on their work, shuttling chunks of ice and tools up and down the shaft. At the end of the nearby tunnels, you see the bright sparks of ice cutting in progress, slabs hanging into the air in that strange way that they do in Zero-G. Some lose memories of the time before Darkside, before Lane, before freedom come to your mind. The familiarity of the cold, the sparks, the endless toil, it chills you more than the packed ice on either side of you could ever. You reach the bottom of the shaft, a metal grill marking the terminus. It squeals as you push open the barred door set into it, and safety lights flicker on, lining up glittering ice particles all around in the hard beams. It is as if all the stars are held here, in this cavern. As your eyes adjust, the massive space comes into focus. It seems to have no up or down, just countless dark shafts, terraced pits cut into its side. All around, silhouetted by their work lights, contractors cut and haul and gather. This is where those logged-in workers are being held, caught in a contract clause that permits an endless shift. The atmosphere is grim. At the center of the cavern floats a construction of welded-together habitation units. Every twist of cable stretches from this improvised structure past you and up the shaft behind, tethering it to the central power source. On each of the 6 sides of the strange apartment block, a set of struts project outward, bracing the construction against the cavern walls. The block itself is wrapped in insulation, clad in protective plates. It glows with small apertures and lights. You approach the nearest entrance. Everything is bitten by rust, by decay. If the bars on the entrance weren't a clear enough indicator, it is obvious now that this place is a prison. The door scissors open, letting out a blast of warm air. You quickly duck inside and it seals rapidly behind you. The cramped interior passage glows warmly, but its ragged condition keeps it from feeling cozy. You follow the corridor, ducking beneath hanging wires and loose insulation. This is where you were told you will find Luz, or whatever her real name is. You come out into a communal mess. Counters and food preparation units fitted into the walls, cushioned stools and couches scattered around. A couple of contractors are stretched out into space, one of them snoring loudly in the corner, another sipping from a food packet on a stool. Suddenly, a door on the far side opens up to a cavern, letting in a flurry of ice shards that quickly become scattered orbs of water. You watch the figure as they glide into a warm light of the interior, with their dark hair and bright eyes, and know this is who you are looking for. You meet eyes with hers, and something sparks in that dual, unclothing room. It's as if she recognizes you. Sleeper? She looks in a haze, her hair stuck to her forehead with sweat, her eyes still adjusting to the interior. I've been looking for you. You... what? She squints. You see her scan you, taking in your clothes, the way you hold yourself, your face. For a moment, you feel exposed, aware of your damaged vinyl skin, your industrial markings, your doll-like features. You feel the familiar sense of being objectified, but also something warmer below it, a recognition of what you are. She blinks, exhales, and shakes her head, realizing she is mistaken. Give me a sec, alright? I just finished cutting 100 cubic meters of ice. She folds back her hood. Haven't seen you down here before. They just contract you or something? The tension drops, but you get the feeling she isn't quite looking at you. She crosses to a food unit and pulls out a packet, slotting into it a warmer. She slams it on. First sleeper I've seen in a long while. She doesn't take her eyes off the slowly warming food. You'll do okay down here. I know you folks are tough and stick with the job. That's good. The rest I can show you once I've eaten. She laughs a little to herself. I'm with your brother. My brother? She pauses, her eyes not leaving the warmer. I think you have me confused with someone else. You're not listening. She turns to face you, and you see her wet shine in her eyes. What are you going on about? Seraphine is on Wellspring. The warmer chimes to let her know the food packet is ready, but she doesn't seem to notice. Seraphine? She takes a ragged breath, then steadies herself. Here? Not here. At the cut. She nods, and then shakes her head. Well, if he trusts you with his name, I guess I should trust you with mine. She comes closer. I'm Tala. She smiles a warm smile. Now, where's my idiot brother? I'll take you to him. She laughs nervously. Sorry, this is not what I was expecting on my lunch break. Tala suddenly seems to take on some energy. She glances toward the corridor behind you, and the door at his end. I sure hope you have a plan, Sleeper, because they do not want us locked-in contractors getting out. She moves toward the corridor. They're secure in the shaft, and then again in the pit head. You must have passed through checkpoint at the entrance too, and that we can bypass all of those. Oh, me tendré que haber guardado mejores dados. She turns back, grabs her food packet, smiles at you, and shepherds you toward the corridor. You can run a distraction maybe, or is Sarah on that already? You are slightly taken aback by her sudden change. We're going to have to... A blaring alarm sounds inside the habitation module, loud enough to wake the sleeping contractor with a start. You and Tala exchange glances. Surely this can't be for you. Tala rushes down the corridor and tears open the door at the far end, with the following close behind. The ice shatters, glittering in the interior light. The cavern is in chaos. You see dark-suited Logic security wrestling with contractors, lit by flashing red alerts. More contractors are coming in through the door in the grill you entered from, carrying bulky equipment. The equipment is blaring out a voice, Kirk's voice, echoing around the cavern. A look of panic crossing Tala's face. A general strike is now in effect. All contractors shut down tools and hold in place. Extraction will cease until our terms are met. Kirk's voice distorts and shifts. We have blockaded all traffic to and from Wellspring. We seek the resignation of the syndicate's leadership and for a new workers' council to be installed in its place. This cycle, we will shut down the shaft. Any worker not willing to strike should leave now. There is a screech of noise and the message begins repeating. You watch the security are pushed back towards the grill, unnumbered by the gathering workers. Tala looks at you for guidance. Now's our chance. Tala looks around the cavern, the red light reflecting on her wide eyes. I need to stay. I won't abandon the others. What about Seraphine? Tell my brother what's happening. Tell him I'm not leaving until all of us are free. Tala backs away, glancing over her shoulder at the others. You see them gathering their tools and taking them to be locked away in the hab module. I need to see this through, Sleeper. And you need to go. Find Seraphine. Do what you can from out there. Help us change this place. And with that, she turns and clouds off towards the other. You turn and head for the grill as quickly as you can, the way now cleared by the contractors. The handful of Logic security pushed back up to somewhere near the pit head. As you ascend, other contractors shooting you dark looks. As you do, you realize you have to speak with Kirk. C'est Leo. You find Kirk at the pit head, directing contractors to barricade any entry points to the line. So, you took my advice. Good. Kirk smiles. We're glad to have you as an ally here, Sleeper. What happens now? The syndicate was arrogant. They did not believe we could do this. Kirk gestures toward the contractors welding plating across the checkpoints. But we far outnumber them. Their monopoly ends here. How can I help? Kirk leads you a little way away from the contractors. If we want to free those like Surf and Sister, I will need your help. We have ships, but not many. And the syndicate still has tankers in operation. Our blockade is not complete. The debris field between here and the far spindle remains open. We need another tanker to occupy it and dissuade the syndicate from trying to pass. Oh. Oof, está complicado. All of our ships are in use, but your ship and your crew could help us take a tanker and secure the blockade. You want me to storm a tanker? This will not be an assault. Kirk puts a hand on your shoulder. The tanker, the Headstream, has been held outside Wellspring for many cycles. The crew is tired and sympathetic to our cause. We'll skimp them a notch. Your ship will pose as an in-distress trader trapped inside the debris field. The Headstream is obliged to rescue. We will board and encourage the crew to take control. We? Kirk laughs. You think I wouldn't come? I'm key to our success. Kirk folds his arms across his chest. Will you do it? Yeah! I know you would. I'm glad to have you on our cause, Sleeper. Suddenly, Kirk puts 2 fingers in his mouth and blouts out a shrill whistle. The contractor quickly approaches with a large box, the front marked by screens and dials, and the back by loose cables. You will need this HasNav unit to navigate the debris field. Oh, vámonos. He nods at the contractor. Jens here will install it on your ship. Consider it a gift from our cause to yours. ¡Ole! Increíble. Probablemente si hubiéramos ido a hablar con el sindicato, los líderes, nos habrían dado uno, pero para hacer otra cosa con ese tanker, probablemente para usarlo para transportar agua o como medida de presión o algo. He nods once more and Jen passes by you, heading for the lift to the docking ring with the new module. I will provide the headstream's coordinates. He moves away towards the contractors, still working on the checkpoints, and I will wait for your word. You leave the pit head behind, your mind racing. You do not know how you have ended up in the middle of all this, but you know that it will be up to you to pilot your way out. Sleeper! Seraphine comes up to the passage towards you. What's happening? I heard the pit head's being taken over by Kirk's guys? This, you realize, will take a lot of explaining. Local crew available, new contract on map, vale. Bueno, al final no nos han hecho falta los dados, gracias a Dios. A ver. Entiendo. O sea que será viajar aquí. The Headstream is holding in the debris field on syndicate orders. Kirk believes it is a perfect target for a mutiny if your crew can get on board and inspire one. Payment Tala released. Ah, bueno, me parece un buen payment, la verdad. En fin, está la cosa muy interesante. Estoy muy contento. Me gusta mucho este juego. Pero lo vamos a dejar aquí. Y ya está bien por hoy. Así que nada, se acabó por hoy. Seguimos a la próxima.